You are up, Commissioner.
All right, this is a meeting on September 5th of the Bannock County Board of Commissioners. We'll call this meeting to order. I don't see any changes to the agenda, so we will move forward. I do not see Chantel with us today, so it doesn't look like any indigent business. We do have a reading and ratification of the signatures of the Suicide Awareness Proclamation. Do you want to read that, John, or do you want me to read it?
You can read it.
Somehow I knew you were going to say that. All right, proclamation says, whereas September is known around the United States as National Suicide Prevention Awareness Month, which is intended to raise mental health awareness and proactive suicide prevention resources, and whereas suicidal thoughts and mental health concerns can affect anyone, and whereas according to the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention, more than 48,000 people die by suicide each year, and whereas suicide is the 11th leading cause of death among adults in the United States, and the 3rd leading cause of death among people ages 10 to 24, and whereas the joint communities of Bannock County support those who work in the fields of mental health, education, and law enforcement, and whereas the joint communities of Bannock County believe tackling suicide and mental health crisis is a community effort, and whereas the joint communities of Bannock County encourage all residents to join in helping to prevent suicide in our community, and whereas the joint communities of Bannock County encourage all residents to educate themselves about mental health and take active steps to care for their own mental health, and whereas the joint communities of Bannock County recognize the importance of having conversations regarding the destigmatization of such topics and helping connect people with available resources, and now, therefore, we, the joint communities of Bannock County, do hereby proclaim the month of September as Suicide Prevention Awareness Month in Bannock County. And I'm proud to announce that we have signatures from the Commission, the Shoshone-Bannock Tribe, the Mayor of Eremo, the Mayor of Chubbuck, the Mayor of Downey, the Mayor of Ingham, the Mayor of Lava Hot Springs, the Mayor of McCammon, and the Mayor of Pocatello, all on this proclamation. So it is truly a community effort. So with that, I would make a motion that we accept and authorize signature of the proclamation. I'm moving that. How's that?
Well, that's good. Do you want us to vote?
I guess we should, huh? I was waiting for someone to, yeah. A little rusty today. We have a motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, thank you. Julie, come on up.
Julie Hancock, Bannock County Elections Administrator. To canvass the votes of the little tiny election. That's yours, and this is yours. Christy, since it passed, do you need a copy of the fully executed canvass?
Yes.
You would need both, probably.
Usually the district will send it, but you always give it to me, so I don't worry about it.
Do you want to talk about this a little bit? What was the turnout?
17% for 4,100 eligible, 717, I think, turned out, which is actually a little more than I thought it would be. So it sounded like it was a little bit heated down there. You were either really for it or really, really against it. And so, and that showed a little bit at the polls. We didn't get a lot of early votes. I think they really like to go to the polls. South County does. So, but yeah, everything went smooth and no hiccups. We had a power outage for a minute down there, but they must have been in a place that had a lot of windows because we didn't get any complaints or any phone calls about it. So, without a hitch.
Okay. And then just from a cost standpoint, what does it cost us to put on an election like this?
With only 9 precincts involved, your ballot cost is a lot less. Poll worker cost was right around $5,000. Ballot cost is going to be right around $5,000 or $6,000, and then the little incidentals here and there we'll probably get up to about $12,000.
Okay, great. Okay, any other questions, comments? Okay, I would entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the canvassing of the votes as presented.
We have a motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Thanks, Julie, and as always, great job.
Thank you, appreciate that.
Ready? Christy Clauser.
Mr. Clauser, Comptroller, I have before the board two quick items. The first is the Bannock County L2s. This is the official request for requesting property tax dollars based on the budget that the board passed last week.
And what was our change in the, our request? Was it still like $25 per 100,000?
I won't have final values until later in September when we get ready to set levy rates. We're projected at $24 and change less per taxable 100,000, but really until I get final operating values, I won't know for sure.
Okay.
So,
And again, the L2 shows a tax ask of 29,100, or 29 million, excuse me. We really cut the budget hard. John would be really proud with that, right? 29,175,887.
for the county and road and bridge. The next
Yes.
page is the ambulance ask.
The ambulance ask is 177,000.
Nope, that's going to be abatement district.
Oh, excuse me, I'll do the ambulance district. Well, abatement was 177,339, and then the ambulance was 2,120,164. Okay. I'll move that we accept the L2s and authorize signature as presented. All in favor, say aye.
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 And the last item I have for you is, it was a last minute for open enrollment. It's with US Able Life. I did send this to legal extremely last minute. Do you have a copy of it, Brian? If not, I've got a paper copy right here. It's just allowing US Able to do the W-2s if we have any employees claim short-term disability.
Okay.
They have all the information, they're not going to charge us anything. It's just easier for our office to have them do that.
Okay. Any questions?
Did you find it, Brian?
Yeah, I have it on here. I'm looking out.
I really didn't see anything that hopefully was of concern.
This has Ernie's name on it. Are you okay if I scratch his out and put mine on there since I'll
Yes.
sign it today?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is this a form we fill this out every year?
This is new. This is assuming that we do the short-term disability with
Oh,
US
okay.
Able. This was the new option.
Okay.
But we needed to, I have a blank one. Do you want to?
It's up to you.
I don't care. I can fill in the top if you want, or you can just do it the way you did it. That works too. Sorry. This will just allow them to do the W-2s if we end up having and taking advantage of this short-term disability.
All right, well, I don't have any questions about it. You're good, Mr. Trammell?
We don't have contracts with anyone else on the W-2s, do we?
No,
Yeah.
we do them.
Okay. Yep.
Since
All
I
right,
modified
Mr.
this, I'll take a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we approve the form and authorize you to sign it.
Okay, we have a motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Do you need this back?
Thank you.
Okay. Kyle Burmester, Public Works, talking about everybody's favorite topic, snow groomers.
Yeah. Hey, got some snow in Utah. It's on its way.
Let's not talk about that right now.
Kyle Burmester, Public Works Director. Yeah, I'm here today to visit with you about our bylaws for the grooming advisory committee. We kind of went through these, changed them up a little bit to make it more reference what we are kind of needing out of this committee. It's been checked through legal, and Galvin got a chance to look at it. What we tried to come up with is what the purpose of this committee is to advise the county. It's an advisory committee. Part of the purpose is recommend long-range direction to help with promoting standards of safety to the public on snowmobiling. Also help a little bit with promoting the, taking care of our great place we live, kind of getting the word out of not damaging things, and to, take pride in the area we are in. Also concerns, complaints, be out there, be kind of our eyes and ears of what's going on some of these trails. and if there's any problem areas, things like that, and to come back to inform us and advise us on things that they've seen. My idea of it is we'll run this committee the same as we have in the past, where we get together once a month throughout the winter months. And as Road and Bridge, we will manage the budget for it, the operations part end of it, and just work with this committee and help in the sales of our tickets and getting the word out to the community.
Okay. Do you have any questions, John?
Mr. Trammell, you're good?
Alan looked through this. I had a chance to look through it too. I do have a couple of questions, if that's okay, on the bylaws. Talking first about meetings under 4.2. It says that they will normally meet once per month in October through March with the Bannock County Road and Bridge, where no official business will be transacted.
Yes.
So is that just to keep everyone updated?
Yes. So my office will take meeting notes and stuff like that. So we're kind of going back and forth on whether we should have officers or not. And that's one of the questions that Alan had brought up too, is I'd kind of like to keep it just more informal. The decisions will be made between me and the Board of Commissioners on any kind of changes.
And so the only thing that's kind of stuck out to me on this, since the Snow Groomers Board would be subject to the open meeting law, and it says no official business will be conducted, but that would also include discussion about decisions that haven't been made yet.
But they're changing this to a committee.
Or
This is just a committee, an advisory
oh, it's just a
committee.
committee.
Yeah, it's an advisory committee.
An advisory committee. Okay.
And so the board will be the Board of Commission for any of the open meeting laws. This is just kind of like they did before when they were a board, they could get together once or whenever they wanted to discuss things, but if
So
a
a
meeting.
committee to make recommendations to the commission. Okay, so they won't have
Through
any
Road and
decision-making capacities themselves. Okay, as far as, that's better then. That's what I saw there. And then the last one would be removal of members. Says maybe recommended that the board may recommend the removal of any member or alternate with or without cause, and that the Public Works Director will bring recommendations of the committee to the Bannock County Commissioners. Is there a process for that or required number of votes for removal? Is that something
No.
you'd want to spell out, saying like, you have to have the majority of the committee recommend it? I'm just, in case that ever comes up, I want to remove someone if you just have one person, or
Well,
is it unanimous?
if it's coming to the commission, we're the ones making the choice.
Right, but it says that the recommendation from the committee. I'm looking at 4.4. It says they may recommend the removal of any member.
From any member. So it's any member can come to me with recommendation of removal, then I will bring that to the board.
Okay. As long as that's what, so you could just have one member of the committee that
Yep.
recommends it, and they'll go to you, and then you have to come to the board and go from there. You don't want,
I didn't want
you
to
don't
have it
want
set up
everyone else
with
having to
a
agree
chairman
or
and all
have a
that.
majority or anything like that?
No.
Okay, just want to
I
make sure.
just want, if any member or alternate comes to me with a recommendation, that I bring that to the board.
Those were the only two things I saw. So.
So you're good with that explanation?
Yeah, I just wanted to point that out in case, because if someone was going to get removed, and so you
Yeah.
have just one member come to you, and then you come to the commissioner, and then they decide.
I was trying to keep it as simple as a committee as I could, so we didn't run into the difference in them.
Right.
Even as an advisory committee? Okay, I have, any other further discussion on that? I have a slightly technical thing. Last year, we redid the bylaws of one of the committees I'm on today for a state committee. And the state is recommending that you don't list them as bylaws because the state says that bylaws are more of a corporate governing policy, which can prove problematic for state entities. So the state recommended that the board that I was on, that we change it to a policy and procedures versus a bylaws.
Yeah.
So that would read, the policies and procedures of the Bannock County Snow Groomers Advisory Committee. And anywhere where it says bylaws, we just change it to policies and procedures. Does that cause you any heartburn,
No?
Kyle?
Okay, I can get that switched over. You don't have the full, you have some highlighted and stuff, so I had a different one anyway, but if
Okay.
that works, that we, with them changes, then I can get them to you for signature.
Okay. Any other thoughts? Then I would move that we adopt this and authorize signature once we receive the change copy, changing the title from bylaws to policies and procedures of the Bannock County Snow Groomer Advisory Committee. And then everything else will stand as we discussed. Okay, we have a motion. All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you.
Emma?
Good morning, Commission. Emma Iannacone, Public Information Officer. I am here requesting signature on a letter for Nick Hotman of NH Creative LLC, who is the person who designed the logo for the village, as well as designed and executed the murals for the village. He gave us a generous discount of about $8,000, I believe. I have the number on that list. So I would like to provide this letter so that he can include this in his taxes for 2023 and get that donation, whatever the proper tax term is.
Can I get a copy of that letter when it's signed?
Absolutely.
Do you have any thoughts, comments?
Nope.
I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the letter as presented.
We have a motion. All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you very much.
Thanks, Emma. Looks like Hal, you're up. Hal and Tristan.
Good morning, Commission. Hal Jensen, Planning Director, Bannock County. I have in attendance with me Tristan Borkwin, Assistant Director. We have before you a contract for an extension of OpenGov for 1 additional year. We've had this discussion relative to data transfer prior to termination of the contract as we move to CityWorks. If you have any questions, I brought Tristan with me because I assigned her this respective task to work with OpenGov and get this paperwork resolved and then in front of you. So if you have any questions, we'd be happy to answer. If not,
I've seen you guys working on it. How's it going?
It's going really well. We are finding a couple of bugs a week probably, but it's slowing down and the process is starting to improve and we're seeing some efficiencies with it finally, so.
I was going to say, you were originally estimating, what, about an hour per record?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we started with 785 and we're down to 400 and something now in just 3 weeks worth of trying to transition stuff over, so.
Okay. And so, given that speed, do we need a full year of this, or is there any other option on that?
So there wasn't another option other than a year, but I do think we will need the full year to get all of our data from closed permits because it's all of the closed ones that we don't want to lose all of that information.
About how many closed ones do you have?
Oh, I think there's 10, 15,000
Okay.
closed.
Okay. And then this has Ernie's name on it, so if we have a motion, I'll need one to authorize my signature instead of Ernie's. Do you have any other questions?
No, I don't.
Okay. Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we sign the form and authorize your signature.
We have a motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. That's it. Thanks.
Thank you.
And we do have a certificate of residency to be presented for Alyssa Hood. I move that we approve that. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And with that, I think we are done for the day.